This will be interesting. It's been so long since I have filmed a video. And I look like I haven't been out in the sun for like a year. Alright, let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. It's been a while. I've been gone for a while and it's for good reason, I promise. And that's kind of what I'm here to share with you today. Just kind of an update of what's been going on with Kelly for the last 6 months. Before I get into all of the life updates and kind of the goings on and why I've been absent from my YouTube channel for so long and kind of in and out of Instagram and Snapchat and all of that, I do want to mention today's sponsor for today's video, which I'm super excited about because as you guys know, Glasses USA is very much my only provider of glasses. They're the only place I go when I need new glasses or sunglasses or things like that. Not only because they sponsor these videos, but because they truly have a great selection and even their in-house brand MUSE is just really, really good. Like I love all of my glasses I get from them. My lenses are really good quality and the frames are always really cute and they're really affordable. So thank you Glasses USA for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate it, and for all my new glasses, which I'm about to show you guys right now. The first one being these. You guys know that I've been really into round framed glasses, which I'm trying to like clean these ones because I wear these a lot, like a lot. I've had these glasses for over a year now, I think, and this is what kind of started my like thin round metal frame obsession. These are like the best glasses. These are from Glasses USA as well, but I hardly feel them on my face and they're just super comfortable and I think they're pretty cute. But these are old. This is what got me into wanting to delve into more round metal framed glasses. The first ones being these that I just got. These are the Ray-Ban ones. They kind of have like a tortoise shell design around the outside. I laugh when I think about them because I legit told my dad about 2 years ago that he needed to get new glasses frames because his were out of style and they were pretty much identical to these. Which you guys know I got my dad some frames from Glasses USA in like a gunmetal, like more modern look, and they look really good on him. But it's just funny because I was like, those are so out of style, Dad, you need new glasses, and then got him new ones, and then I just bought basically what I told him was out of style. But these are really comfortable. I really like them a lot. I will leave all the names for all these glasses down here in the corner for you guys because A, I butcher names, and B, I don't know how to spell them exactly, so I have to look them up for you. But because I've been really into round frame glasses, I wanted to try kind of like a higher end one, which is why I did get these Ray-Ban ones. Glasses USA does, you guys know, name brand. They also do in-house, which is called MUSE, which the MUSE glasses I love as well. Like I've had a lot of good luck with them. That's what this brand is their in-house brand, and those are still by far my favorite. I wanted to show you a similar pair of glasses that come with kind of a color around it too if you didn't want to spend the money on Ray-Bans, and that's these. And these are super duper cute, but they have like a pink line inside. These glasses actually come in a bunch of different colors, so if you don't like pink, I just wanted to have a bright, fun spring color. The next pair of glasses I got, these are an oldie but a goodie. I actually replaced these frames. These are, again, an in-house brand by Glasses USA. I love these glasses so much. I get compliments on them all the time, usually when I don't look as like gross as I do right now. I swear they look cuter on me. I love these glasses. They're just a plastic, simple frame, but I made the mistake of leaving my last pair of these in the car in the glove box because I'm an idiot, and they got all just like bent out of shape. And it's not because they're like not well made, because the glasses are really well made. It's because I'm an idiot and I left them where they shouldn't be without a case. Then the last pair I got for myself were these cool shades. And again, it was just like a random, I just wanted some fun glasses. And these actually have the blue lens coating, as you can tell. And I got them more for work, you know, editing videos, looking at computer screens, that kind of thing, because I guess the blue lens coating is supposed to protect your eyes from stuff that comes from screens. I don't know. And then Glasses USA also does carry sunglasses, prescription and non-prescription. As you guys know, I do get all of my aviator Ray-Bans from Glasses USA because they're my favorite sunglasses, but I did get my dad and mom new sunglasses because they have been such a huge help to me and my family in the last 6 months. Again, I'll get more into that soon, but I wanted to just show my appreciation, so I did get them some sunglasses as well. So my mom, I got these prescription sunglasses, which I think are gonna be super cute on her. I would try them on to show you guys, but I jokingly put them on when they first arrived, and I had a headache for like a week after that because my mom be blind. She's blind. So those I got for her, and then I got my dad. He's like me, he's a creature of habit. I got him sunglasses over a year ago from Glasses USA that are prescription, and he wanted the same exact ones in his new prescription. That's my dad for you. So I got him a replacement pair in his better prescription. So yeah, I will say that all of the people that I've introduced Glasses USA to have loved their glasses. They've all lasted. They're great glasses. But anyways, let's get into the rest of the video. I'm sorry, this whole like video is kind of a mess because just we have so much going on right now. I know a lot of you guys have been like, where have you been? I've been getting a lot of DMs and messages asking where I've been, comments on videos asking where I've been, and I really appreciate the fact that A, you guys have continued watching my videos even though I haven't been as present as normal, and B, that you actually are concerned about me and wondering like if I'm okay. It's nice to know that people are thinking of you in a nice supportive way, you know? It's just, especially these days, it's very nice. So there's been a lot going on in my family, and this might be kind of, I don't know, this is a weird video. So first off, I've been dealing with a lot of injuries this year and last. I don't know why. Most of them are self-inflicted. As you guys know, last October, September or October, I pretty badly sprained my left ankle and bruised it during a soccer game, so I was on crutches off and on for a while with that. Then after that, because our deductible was full, because John had his knee surgery last year, I decided to get a lump that had been growing down in my groin area. It was just right in between my thigh and my private parts, but it was just a suspicious lump. I decided to get that removed right at the end of the year. So it was literally like the week of Christmas. Right afterwards, I got in with my general surgeon and he took that out and biopsied it. Luckily, unfortunately, it wasn't what they thought it was when I went in for my initial appointments, but luckily it was benign. They don't really know exactly what it was. It was just some type of benign tumor that was growing, but luckily it hasn't grown back yet, and I'm doing well since then. It was kind of an uncomfortable and very painful and almost traumatizing spot to get something done at because I had to be awake for it. So normally when I've had procedures done, I've been asleep. Like they wheel me in and I'm like, happy land. But I had to walk in myself and then get on this, table and put my legs up and hike them in the air and just kind of sit there while all of the anesthesiologists and nurses like wiped me down and spread eagle clean down there. And then he did about 16 localized shots, which were so painful down there to numb the area, but the shots were just god awful. And then I had to sit there while he literally just cut me open and left, there's probably about this big of a cut down there, and just cut something out of me. And it was just he was very professional and he was a very good surgeon, and I wouldn't have wished for a different surgeon. He was amazing for the situation, but it was just so uncomfortable, and I felt very vulnerable and just very exposed, obviously, but the team there was just awesome. But it was just I had a hard, and this is a weird thing that I haven't really talked about with you guys after it, but I had a really hard time after that. I felt very violated, and it wasn't because of him or whatever, it was just because of the situation. And I knew it was a needed situation, but it was just, I think next time I would really push to be put under, even though that wasn't my choice. Like, it wasn't a put under situation, but it was very traumatic for me, and it took a while for me to like kind of wrap my head around that. And then recovery was kind of long because it was just a weird spot, like because I couldn't sit right, I couldn't run, I couldn't like squat or like do things, and things were very uncomfortable for a while. So after that, all healed up, I went back to playing soccer because I was really feeling depressed because I wasn't active. There's a lot of other stuff at this point that was going on, which I'll share next. And I really needed my outlet back of working out and being around my friends and just like my escape. So I started playing soccer again after the injury and then the surgery. And wouldn't you know it, like my third game back, a girl took me down with her and she fell on my leg, my right leg. So we were running this way together and we both came down and her leg was on this side and on this side of me and my leg just snapped that way. Like, this is my leg and it went brr. So yeah, that was another one of the most painful things I've experienced. Both that and the surgery were more painful, and my ankle were more painful than having a baby naturally. I've had 3. And that's been kind of consuming my life a little bit, other than the next thing I'm gonna talk about. But since my knee injury happened, I have not been able to walk, I haven't been able to run. I've been going to physical therapy about 2 to 3 times a week just to get my bend back. I can bend it now finally to a 90-degree angle, but no further than that. I can finally straighten it, but there was about a month and a half where I was in so much pain. I had to have fluid taken out. I basically ruptured my entire ACL. I bruised both my tibia and my femur. I sprained both ligaments on the outsides of my knee, and then on top of that, my tibia is lying a little bit off center from where it's supposed to be. So that's why I'm all taped up, is to kind of mobilize it back to where it needs to be so I can be a little more comfortable. So I've been pretty intensively going to PT so that way I can regain as much motion and extension and strength as possible, because this coming Friday, the 26th, I will be going in for total ACL reconstruction. So they're basically gonna take a cadaver graft and put it in my knee and hopefully fix it, and then fix whatever else is in there that they find. Yeah, so that's been also going on. So there's been a lot of physical stuff that's been kind of tearing me away from YouTube because I don't have the energy to put into it. But one of the biggest things that's pulled me away from YouTube, which I've tried really hard to fight against and make work, is that I couldn't film during the day because all of my kids are in virtual school 5 days a week. John works from home, and even more so because of COVID, he's home. And while I'm so thankful that we have that option and we can make that work, it means that I can't film during the day, which is when I always film because of the daylight and all of that, because our house was just filled with noise. You know, it was just filled with noise. So even if I had my doors closed and I was in my bedroom, it was like they were sitting right next to me. John was working underneath me in the laundry room and I could hear him through the radiator vents. The kids' bedrooms surrounded mine, and then Ava would be in the kitchen. So there was nowhere for me to even escape with my own thoughts, let alone share them with you guys via camera or take sponsorships or do anything like that. That was a big reason why I started kind of dwindling off when COVID hit from YouTube. But then the even bigger thing happened in November, at the beginning of November, end of October, when John and I decided that enough was enough and we decided to put our house up for sale and move. So we have spent a total of almost 12 years this May at our prior home. We have sold it. It's been a great home for us to start our family, John and I's, together. Obviously, I already had Ava when we met and married, but it's been a great home for us to live in, bring home babies in, raise our kids in, you know, work on, remodel. It's been a great home. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, like, oh my God, Kelly, you did all that work last summer. What are you thinking? I did all of that work last summer, if you remember from those videos, because I began to become very depressed. I am an introvert. When it really comes down to it, I'm an introvert. And not being able to have any peace and quiet or time to think or time by myself was really hard. And we didn't have air conditioning at that house, so we decided to put our money and our time and efforts into working on the outside so that way we could spend at least half the year outside, you know, and have more space. Well, when winter hit, we couldn't be outside anymore. You know, once we closed down the pool, September, October, the walls started closing in again. And it just was very apparent that, like, we've been trying to make this thing work for so long and that maybe we just can't make it work anymore. Maybe the 3-bedroom, tiny bedrooms, you know, 10 by 10 bedrooms, 1 bathroom or 1.5 bathroom, 1 shower, small kitchen, you know, no privacy because it's a split level and the insulation wasn't the greatest. Like maybe this isn't workable for us. Maybe this is not working. I spent a lot of this fall and winter, and I am embarrassed to admit this, hauled up in my room, locked up there. A lot of my Facebook or Instagram posts were of me in my bedroom or in my bed with my dogs. And well, I wasn't an absentee parent. I paid attention to my kids, but when they were in school, I felt so strangled and suffocated that I just locked myself in my bedroom. You know, we couldn't go anywhere because of COVID. We didn't want to spend money because we knew we were going to be selling our house. Like, I was very depressed. And so during the week, the only place that I could get some kind of quietness, which again, I could hear everyone still on their classes, and there'd be 3 Zoom calls and then John on his phone calls and stuff like that, was my bedroom. So you guys saw a lot of posts from my bed. You saw my dogs, and that's about it. I had a meltdown at the end of October. I think that's what spurred John and I to both really look at each other and say, maybe this isn't working anymore. And the market kind of went in this weird direction where like houses were selling really well because there weren't a lot of houses on the market, and then rates just kept dropping lower and lower for loans. So that's kind of what caused John and I to say, okay, maybe the stars are aligning, maybe this is the right thing to do. So at the end of October, John and I started going to open houses just to kind of see like, okay, what's out there available? Is there even anything out there that we would want, and just kind of what the market was like. And while we were at one of the house showings, we ran into our realtor Tom, who is amazing, and we had him and his partner over to look at our house and interview us along with a bunch of other realtors, because we learned our lesson from the last time we bought a house that like just because you meet a realtor doesn't mean they're the best realtor. We met him and hired him, and he said he could easily sell our house for way more than what we bought it for, while still, you know, allowing us to have money to get a bigger house. And the rates and loans were so low that it was like the perfect time to do it. And long story short, we decided, okay, let's put our house on the market. If you're following the timeline a little bit, that would have been in November. I just sprained my ankle and kind of gotten back from being able to walk on it. And then we decided to put our house officially on the market sometime in the winter, right after Christmas, which again, if you remember, I had my lump removed during that time. So actually the day that the house showings were gonna start was the day that the day after my surgery, and we actually pushed it back 2 days so that way I wouldn't have to sit in the car. Because of COVID, we didn't really have anywhere to go because our family doesn't live in town anymore. We didn't have anywhere to go during these showings, so like we'd have to pack up the kids and the dogs along with my post-op self in the car to kind of just like wander around and drive around town until like our house showings were done. And because the market was so hot during that time, it still is, we would have like 12 showings in a day. So we would be gone from like 8:30 to like 6:30 was my cutoff. I was just like, I can't keep my kids out and my dogs out after that. Like I need to come home. Thankfully, we sold our house pretty quickly. We had a sight unseen offer a few nights before our first showing. And again, this was right after Christmas, you know, right after my surgery because we're crazy. And our realtors were like, now, like you need to do this now while, you know, your house is really hot. So we had one sight unseen offer. We did not accept it just because we were told, you know, trust me, you can get a better deal. And sure enough, the first person who saw our house on the first day put in an offer, and then one more person put in an offer, and then after we had already accepted the first person's offer, a couple weeks in, we got like a cash offer, like sight unseen as well. So basically, we sold our house first day. For the price that we were asking, basically with a really good contingency of you have this amount of time to find a new house and a 45-day after closing possession timeline, which I insisted on because I didn't know how this was all gonna happen because of COVID and all this other stuff. I wanted to make sure we had ample amount of time to get settled into whatever house we found. And at that time, when we sold our house, we actually had already fallen in love with another house. It was a ways away from where we lived then. We thought it was the house, but things happened. You know, he accepted our offer after going back and forth. It was way over what the house is worth. The house probably needed about $50,000 to $60,000 of interior work in regards to like upgrading, because everything was outdated. Like everything was original to the house. The driveway had like, it was terrible. Like our realtor almost bottomed out and ruined his car just pulling in. It wasn't very big. The garage was a 2-car garage, but it wasn't very big. It was a corner lot house, which is why we really wanted it, because it had just this gorgeous backyard that was of course overrun with tree stumps that the guy didn't dig out. He cut down the trees, but he left all the tree stumps. There was like 8 tree stumps, and I knew how much that was gonna cost because I just taken out tree stumps last summer, as you guys know. His patio was just like demolished. We would have had to replace that. So all of that being said, we finally got him to accept our offer, but again, it was way over what the house is worth. We went to inspection period because we had accepted our offer on our house, and this was months ago. So we started moving forward with the process of everything, and one of the times we went to go visit the house, he was there. He refused to leave for some reason, and we were like, okay, whatever, it's a seller's market. He can kind of do whatever he wants because we are the ones who want his house. And he was an older man, and we know kind of what way he leaned because of some things he had said prior to us meeting him and some stuff that was outside of his house. And this first time he like laid eyes on me, his affect changed. Basically, I'm insinuating, he immediately started treating my husband and I and our offer and our realtor and myself different because, surprise, I'm not white. After that, it was very uncomfortable. He made some remarks that were just like, okay, things that you just couldn't ignore, and I just kind of like brushed him off because it's like, okay, I want this house. We are under contract technically with this house. Let it go. So as we moved forward with our inspector was great. If you guys need an inspection done, we loved our inspector. He did that inspection at that house and this house that we're in now. His realtor insisted on being there. He insisted his realtor be there for the inspection, and she was just very odd towards us as well. Even our inspector, after we told him kind of what happened, because we had to call him back to do the inspection on the house we ended up buying, he was like, yeah, the second I kind of walked in there and spoke to her, I knew that you guys were probably not going to have an easy time with this guy. Basically, our inspector found a lot of issues. There were tons of big cracks in the foundation. There was grading issues, which is probably causing the flooding that had happened in the basement, like bad flooding to the point where he needed 2 sump pumps. There was a significant roof damage. The roof would have had to been replaced. There was a firewall issue in the garage where the guy had drove his truck into the wall, which connected to the living room. There were just a lot of things wrong with the house. I expected that. John expected that. When we went back to our negotiations, because after you have an inspection, there's like a 14-day or something like remedial period where you can go back and forth and kind of say, okay, you need to fix this, or you need to come down the price or whatever. Basically, we were very, I think, fair with what we asked of him. There was probably going to be about $50,000 to $60,000 of money worth of work that needed to happen to actually live there and have the house be safe for us, and that's not even including again the 50 to 60 that would have been needed to put into the inside of the house for it to look nice and be comfortable. So we just asked for, you know, a little bit of off his asking price, and we asked that he, you know, dig out the stumps and fix, I believe, the grading and cracks was what we asked. Of course, that was going to cost money, and he didn't want to do it, and he didn't like us after he met us. So he immediately told our realtor that he was offended but that we'd even asked for such a thing, and he was out. He didn't want us to buy the house anymore. He was out, and he relisted the house the same day on the internet, which you're legally not allowed to do because we were under our contract of 14 days to go back and forth. So our realtor called him back and said, listen, you can't do that legally. You're binded right now to them. Personal feelings aside, blah, blah, blah. And after that, I had a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't want to live in that neighborhood. I didn't want to live on that street. I didn't want to live in that bigoted, hateful man's house. I didn't want any of it. So even though John and I were already on the fence after the inspection, it was like the nail in the coffin for us. We're like, this is not where we need to be. This is not where we want to raise our kids. This is not where I want to be. Yeah, so we said, fine, to have your house, whatever. He next day was under contract with somebody else. So during that period of time, John and I were really upset. We were freaking out. I was upset because it felt like, you know, 2020 and 2021 have been such a bad time. And, you know, since COVID hit and, you know, the China virus, I say that sarcastically, obviously, or the Kung Fu flu hit, you know, I have been treated differently around our area. I live in Ohio, it's a Midwestern area. There's not a lot of Asians, and it's just been exhausting, you know, ignoring it or keeping a smile or joking or whatever. And the house thing just like really was the last thing for me. I just was so just like broken. At that point, John and I were just like, you know what, we're not moving. Like, we're done. The lady can walk away or whatever. Like, this is just stupid. My parents took our kids that weekend that all of that happened. They were like, let's take the kids. You guys just have some time to yourself to think about things and whatever. John and I were fighting a lot during that period of time because buying a house and selling a house is super stressful. And basically, when my parents had the kids, I said, John, let's go for a walk. Let's go like clear our heads. And we started talking, and we just started talking about kind of the houses that we liked and the houses that we wanted. And we felt better that night. The next morning we went out to see the 150th house, it felt like, with our realtor. And they were stressed out already because they thought like, oh crap, they're not gonna move kind of thing. And the next morning I got notified that a house that wasn't even for sale, that John and I have always kind of driven past and kind of thought, oh, would be really nice to live there. I got a notification from Zillow that that house went on the market. So long story short, because there's a lot of weird universal kismet things, we put an offer in same day on that house after we saw it. And a few days later, after going back and forth, the sellers accepted our offer, and we closed 30 days after that. And we moved in, or started moving in and doing all the work on this house 8 days after we closed. During that time, of course, remember, I tore my ACL the week before we closed. So I went in on crutches with a brace on and all of that. And yeah, we officially moved in yesterday with all of our big stuff. Like, we had our first night sleeping here yesterday, and my knee surgery is this Friday. So we still have a lot of stuff we need to get out of the other house. There's stuff in the shed and the garage, and there's little junk and trash and grossness all over the house that was hiding under stuff. You know, during this time after we had gone under contract and sold our house, I kind of gave up on the house this last month because I've been busy cleaning and preparing this new house. We had to have basically everything painted. This house has not been easy either. There's been issues we've had to compromise on. You know, we replaced all of the carpet. It's a huge house. It's not like a Richie Rich neighborhood. It's not a Richie Rich house. We overpaid for it because everybody's overpaying for houses right now, but it's a house that we really love. It was built in the 70s. It's got the 90s dark wood vibe, which I wanted so bad. It's my mom's house. It feels like it feels like the house that I grew up in, and I love it. I love everything about it. But again, we did have to replace all the carpeting upstairs and in the living room. We had to repaint mostly everything, which I did hire a painter, which I've never done in my life. I hired a painter to do the bedrooms and the hallway and the kitchen because we really needed to move in, and I couldn't walk at the time or go up ladders. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done here, but it's way less work than the other house that we're under contract in, and this feels like home. It feels good. I feel happy. The kids love it. The dogs are so happy here because we've been coming in and out as we've been working on stuff. But we're just all very, very excited. I have my 2-car garage. I can finally park in a garage and walk into my house. I've never had that before as an adult. We have air conditioning, which is amazing. We did move into a house that has like 1,000 trees. Unfortunately, you guys know I just cut down all those trees at the other house. We have 1,000 trees. We don't have a pool, but we do have a hot tub, which is pretty cool. I have my sunroom, which I've always wanted. I have my covered porch, which I've always wanted. And we have the basketball hoop in the driveway, which John's always wanted. And it's just been an exhausting 6 months, but to finally get here it is worth it, but it's also been really hard. So that's kind of where I've been and why I've been gone, is because we've been dealing with all of this stuff, which I know doesn't sound like a lot because this is in less than an hour that I'm telling you about it, but it was a lot. You know, every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes during the week was filled with going and seeing houses that we just didn't like, or were overpriced, or were in racist areas, or, you know, or taxes were too high, or was too outdated, you know, or too small or too big. Every weekend was full of that. So our kids really got neglected. I will say we had to neglect them to get them a house to move into. If you didn't see the house, and it was gone. I mean, everything was selling first day, same day, you know. In the houses that didn't sell same day, you're like, why haven't they sold yet? There's something wrong with them. And sure enough, there usually was. We had to be on top of it. We had to see every new house that came on the market. So for months, our kids hardly saw us during the weekends. And during the week, if we weren't doing school, then in the evening, I was trying to take care, you know, keep the house clean for showings or whatever during a certain period of time. And then after we sold our house, then it was like the seller wanted to come see our house at random times. And it just was a lot. And our kids just, you know, were alone a lot. And, you know, it was really exciting because yesterday we got to have our first dinner all together, like Ava, Wyatt, Kaya, me, John, at the table in our new home together. It had been such a long time since we sat down at a table and actually had a meal together, because we were just going. We were dropping fast food off at the house. You know, you can't use your kitchen while you're trying to sell your house, of course. And half our stuff was in storage because during the showings, it needed to look not cluttered. So half our stuff was in storage, especially our kitchen, because our kitchen was so small. We had to move a bunch of appliances, and I wasn't going to get rid of stuff because I knew hopefully we'd find a home bigger that I could have all of those things. So anyways, it's been a long road. It's been exhausting. I feel so tired. I'm worn out with this physical therapy a couple times a week, with the weather being gloomy off and on, with, you know, just everything. I've just been gone. But no longer, hopefully, will that be the same. I'm hoping to get back to filming regularly. I have been filming. I did start filming my Luma disc review, so I should have that up sometime in April for you guys. I've been trying this new herbal supplement. It's called Elixir, I believe. It's like a Chinese herb supplement for menstrual stuff, so I'm excited to kind of tell you guys how that's working out. But of course, all of that's gonna have to wait until I get my knee worked on this Friday, and then the recovery time for that's pretty intense. I'm exhausted. And I'm off and on sad. You know, society just sucks right now. People just suck right now, and it's exhausting to go online and see such horrible things. I hid all of the house selling stuff and moving from you guys, even though I wanted to post. Like, it took everything in me. Like, sometimes I would start posting something on Instagram about it, and then I'd have to stop myself and delete it, because this was already such a stressful time for us, and exciting time that I couldn't afford mentally to have somebody just be a jerk online about it. You know, it just, if a simple bad comment would have just broken me during times that we were going through. So I kept it to myself, you know, and I think it made it a lot easier. I wanted this just to be our time. And again, I couldn't have even shared really if I wanted to, just because everything was so back and forth. But yeah, now that we're here and almost settled, like I said, we have 2 weeks left to get the rest of our stuff out of the other house, and we need to clean it and all of that, and then we hand over the keys at the beginning of April. But now that we're here, I hope to update you guys more on everything that's going on. I don't know about a house tour yet. I haven't decided. You guys know I didn't really do one at the other house. You could kind of figure out where everything was just from me vlogging, but I want to get back to daily vlogs. John thinks I should vlog my surgery and like recovery, so maybe I'll do that. You guys let me know, but I want to come back. I want to be more present, and now that I have the space and time, because I actually have my own office downstairs now, and so does John. John's no longer in the laundry room, guys. And I got a new washer and dryer. I've never had a brand new like matching set before, and I'm so excited because the sellers took theirs with them, and my buyer wanted mine. So I had to buy new ones, and I'm so excited. It's so quiet, but yeah, John's got his own office, which is kind of cool. I have the dining room, which I'm turning into an office because we don't need a dining room. The kids all have bedrooms that are bigger. The girls are still sharing so that they can have like a cool common room, which is huge for some reason. John has his basement. We have a rec room, which is pretty cool. It's just exciting. But now that I have space to film and stuff, I will be much more present because I don't know if I'll do this forever, but I do want to continue doing it for right now. I miss the connection with you guys. The only reason why it was lost was because COVID, the kids at home, I didn't have space to film. And again, we were going through a crap ton of stuff here. Yeah, that's about that. Those are the updates that have been going on. Very easy, lighthearted. To all my fellow Asians, I hope you know that we're all here for each other, you know? And it's a sucky time right now, but I hope you are hanging in there. I know I've kind of struggled the last couple days with things, but you're not alone. And hopefully things will get better, especially for our kids, right? But yeah, and for everyone else, I hope you're doing well and staying healthy and safe. Prayers for me. I don't like going under the knife, and this will be the second time in less than a year. And I definitely am not looking forward to recovery after this. The first time I injured it last month, it was not fun, so this will be even worse, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit heavy-hearted about it because I'm finally able to walk and do things, and now I'm gonna go back to not walking and doing things. And I hear it's pretty painful, so prayers for me and positive thoughts for my family because they're gonna have to put up with me. And I will definitely talk to you guys soon because even if it's just for me live streaming from bed recovering, I want to hang out with you guys again and know you guys again, and you guys know me again, because I feel like even in this last 6 months I've changed a lot, and hopefully you'll still like me when you find out who I am now. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go because this is a super long video and I'm getting off and on emotional, which I promised myself I would try not to. That's what's been going on. So this is our bedroom, by the way. I'm trying to figure out where the best place to film will be. Right now we don't have a lot of anything in the house. Our bed frame, it doesn't come until Wednesday, and we're just kind of still trying to get settled. Like literally yesterday we moved our stuff and our movers canceled. We hired professional movers because my knee is a bum and I can't like lift things, and they canceled. They're supposed to show up at 9 a.m. They canceled at 8:30. Then they said, oh no, wait, we're coming. And then they canceled a half an hour after. So literally my brother-in-law, his girlfriend, and a friend of a father of a kid I coach soccer for, who's also a friend, but more so I knew him because I coached his son in soccer. They and John are they moved all of our big stuff. Like it just yesterday. So we're exhausted. We're so exhausted. We've been at this house all like last week, just trying to get stuff ready for the kids, like till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every night, and then going back and sleeping and then coming back again the next day after work, and we're just like spent. But yeah, this is our bedroom. It's very bare right now. And again, I don't know where I'm going to film quite yet. It's because the sun's kind of wonky in this house, but I will be back, I promise. And I just really appreciate you guys if you're still watching right now, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.